You'll own it in 5 years. Just $6.90 a month. Yeah, I can swing that. I deserve something nice. He thought he was buying freedom, a symbol of his hard work finally paying off. But what he was actually signing up for was 5 long years of debt. He drove off the lot under the moody late evening lights, the smell of new leather filling his senses. For a moment, it felt worth it. This car wasn't just metal and glass. It was an upgrade to his life, a statement that he had arrived. He pictured the envious glances from friends, the impressed look on his girlfriend's face. The salesman's words echoed in his mind, "You deserve it," and he believed him. But deserving something and affording it are two very different roads. The high of the purchase lasted about a week. The reality hit with the first payment. Bills were scattered across his coffee table, the laptop glowing with his bank statement, $690. Then came the insurance premium, another $150, and gas. Wow, gas was a lot more than he budgeted for. Wait a minute, that's almost $1,000 a month. His girlfriend, Maya, walked in, a concerned look on her face. "You said you were going to start investing after your raise." He waved his hand dismissively. "Next year. I'll do it next year, once I'm caught up." But he wasn't just trying to catch up, he was already falling behind. The dream car was quickly turning into a financial anchor, pulling him down just as he was trying to swim forward. The promise he made to himself, to Maya, about building their future was being postponed for a depreciating asset. He closed the laptop, the glowing numbers a stark reminder of his new monthly burden. The freedom he thought he bought felt more like a cage. A few months later, he sat in a sterile office, the air thick with the smell of old paper and fresh coffee. His accountant, a man who spoke in spreadsheets and stark realities, leaned forward. "Jake, I want you to understand something. If you invested that $1,000 a month instead of spending it on the car and its related costs, even with a modest return, you'd have over $200,000 in 10 years. Jake's coffee cup stopped halfway to his lips. He stared at the accountant, stunned. You're saying my car is costing me $200,000. Exactly. Not in cash you're paying out today, but in opportunity. In future wealth you're giving up." This was the first time he truly understood. The real cost of a car isn't just the sticker price or the monthly payment. It's not written on the bill of sale. The real cost is measured in decades of lost growth, in a future self's prosperity being traded for a present self status. His car wasn't just losing value every day, it was actively stealing from his future. That night, unable to shake the accountant's words, Jake found himself scrolling through car ads online. The neon glow of the screen reflected in his eyes, a hypnotic dance of new models and tempting offers. His friend Tariq leaned over his shoulder. "Dude, just lease it. New car every 2 years, same payment, no long-term commitment." "But I'll never own it," Jake countered, the idea feeling somehow wrong. Tariq laughed. "Who cares? Ownership is an illusion anyway. You're just paying for the experience." The thought was tempting. A lower monthly payment, always driving something new, none of the headaches of long-term maintenance. It seemed like a clever loophole, a way to have the lifestyle without the heavy price tag. But the accountant's voice echoed in his head. They were both wrong, but in completely opposite directions. Jake was trapped by the illusion of ownership, while Tariq was seduced by the illusion of freedom. Both paths led to the same place, a perpetual cycle of payments, forever trading their future for a temporary thrill. The universe has a funny way of making a point. One rainy Tuesday, on the way to an important meeting, it happened. A loud bang, followed by a terrifying shudder. The engine sputtered, coughed, and died. He coasted to the highway shoulder as thick, white smoke billowed from under the hood. The rain poured down, soaking him as he got out to inspect the damage. He kicked the tire in frustration, the reality of his situation crashing down on him. "I still owe $8,000 on this thing." Maya, sitting in the passenger seat, looked at him with a cold, weary expression. "It's not just the car that's breaking down, Jake." Her words hit harder than the financial blow. The car had become a symbol of his broken promises, his financial irresponsibility. It wasn't just a machine, it was the embodiment of the stress and strain he had brought into their lives. He realized that sometimes the car isn't the problem. It's what the car represents, a series of poor choices that are finally catching up. That breakdown was the wake-up call. Late that night, long after Maya had gone to bed, Jake was glued to his screen. But this time, it wasn't car ads, it was financial education videos, podcasts, articles. Spreadsheets were open, filled with his own numbers, his own bleak reality. He started to play with the figures, exploring a different path. If I sell the car, even at a loss. If I bike to work and invest just half of that $1,000 a month. A voice from one of the YouTube videos cut through the silence of the room. The wealthy buy assets first, then use the income from those assets to buy liabilities. It was a simple concept, but for Jake, it was a revelation. He started seeing cars not as trophies to be displayed, but as tools to be used. A tool's value is in its utility, not its status. Did he really need a $30,000 tool to get him from miles to work? The answer was a resounding no. The fog of consumer culture began to lift, replaced by the clear, sharp light of financial literacy. He grabbed a whiteboard and started mapping it out. The numbers, once his enemy, were becoming his guide. Option 1. Buy a reliable, used car outright. $30,000 down, maybe less, no debt, 0 monthly payments. Option 2. Finance, the path he was on, $690 a month, plus thousands in interest over the term. In his case, almost $8,000 just for the privilege of borrowing. Option 3. Lease, for $150 a month, forever. A permanent line item in his budget with nothing to show for it at the end. Then, his accountant's voice returned to his mind. Now, calculate the lost compounding. That's the hidden line item. He added another column to the board. For every dollar spent on interest, on depreciation, on a payment that never ends, he calculated the future value that was being vaporized. He saw the truth in stark black and white. His car wasn't just depreciating, his future was. The shift wasn't just financial, it was psychological. A few months later, the sun rose, casting a warm glow on a new morning. Jake was behind the wheel of a 10-year-old, slightly dented, but perfectly reliable sedan. It was paid for in cash. The best part, the title was in his name, free and clear. Maya sat beside him, a genuine smile on her face. You know, you actually look happier in this thing. He smiled back, feeling a sense of peace he hadn't felt in years. Because for the first time, I'm not driving my debt. I'm driving my car. The feeling was indescribable. It wasn't the thrill of a new car, it was the profound calm of being in control. Every month, instead of sending $1,000 out the door to the bank and the insurance company, he was sending it to his investment account, watching it grow. Freedom doesn't always look flashy. Sometimes it's quiet, reliable, and fully, truly yours. A year later, the scene is different. Soft, golden light fills a living room. Jake is sitting with his younger brother, who's about to get his first job. They have a budget spreadsheet open between them. His brother looks up from the numbers. So, when are you gonna get a new car? You can afford one now. Jake leans back, a knowing look on his face. When my investments buy it for me. He explained that his goal wasn't just to buy a car, but to have his assets generate enough passive income to pay for the car without him ever touching his principal. The car would be a true reward, paid for by smart decisions, not by future labor. He finally understood the game. He thought he was free when he signed the papers at the dealership, but he was never more trapped. He only became free when he learned the rule that changes everything. Watch our next video to discover the hidden financial rule that keeps most people broke and how you can use it to build real wealth. Thanks for watching.